Tank Sinatra's the king of good news online. Your brain just works like that? He's helping me celebrate big family news with a twist. Oh my gosh! Today on Mel.
I'm Mel Robbins, and I'm a life coach who's helped millions of people get the life they deserve. It's about small steps and big breakthroughs. I believe in you. And together, yes! We got this.
So excited for today's show because it is part of a series that we're calling The Inspirers, and it's featuring the people who inspire me. And I know they're going to inspire you. And today, I am thrilled for you to meet a man who's been inspiring me online for well over a year. I've never met him in person until today. His name is Tank Sinatra. 17 years ago, Tank hit rock bottom, and he's been sober ever since. Today, you know him as the biggest publisher of good news online, with accounts that have over 5 million followers. And guess what? He started all of this from the front seat of his car in between appointments while he was building fences outside people's homes.
George Resch is better known to his millions of Instagram followers as Tank Sinatra.
What's up, guys? Tank here. I want to connect in a more personal, direct way with you.
He first gained popularity in 2015 when he launched his meme-based account. He uses his love of comedy to create hilarious captions to images that usually go viral. And just like any rising star, the news is now following his every creative move, online and as an author and now a podcast host. Tank Sinatra may be the most reposted and plagiarized man in the world right now. And he says he's loving every minute of it.
The world becomes what you look at, so make sure you're looking at the right thing.
All right, everybody, give it up for Tank Sinatra! There he is! Right?
That's what I do.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You're going to sit right here. Oh, my God, they're excited to see you. I'm excited to see you. So let's talk about the name.
Okay.
How did you come up with the name Tank Sinatra?
I love wordplay, and I love just kind of like, satire and all that. And it was in an instant, I said, I'm big, I have blue eyes, I'm from New York. Tank Sinatra is so much better than George. So I changed my Instagram name, and that was really, it was like, you make up a screen name for whatever you want, make up an email, and it took on a life of its own.
I'll say, with 5 million followers. I read that you started this idea of a good news account and spreading positive news from the front seat of your car while you were installing fences?
Selling fences.
Selling fences.
I don't want to overdo it, yeah.
So talk to me about that moment, and because I believe you changed your life with one decision.
Yeah.
And everybody's got a bazillion ideas.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the moment you're like, I think I want to do this.
Yeah, so, I love your decision-making ethos, and the more good decisions you make, the more good you create. So if you can, it was one of those things. It was, again, a moment where I said, this is an idea that I've had since I was a little kid, and come to find out that there was an appetite for it, because everybody is just tired of turning on the news and feeling sad, mad, angry, depressed, anxious, all that stuff that you feel because you're being delivered. People don't know that the world is but much bigger than what the news decides to tell you, unless they question it.
How many of you agree with that? You're tired of turning on the TV and you're like, I'm sick of this. Like, it makes me anxious. But I see a but.
By that same token, some people are addicted to it and they don't even know it. They just know that it's exciting and it makes them feel something, so they keep tuning in over and over again. So they figured out that they create this adrenal, visceral reaction in people, and accidentally I created this visceral, soothing feeling in people where they would come to my page and people would send me videos of themselves crying because they didn't know that all this stuff happened in the past 3 months, 6 months, a year. They had been so focused on what was going wrong that they didn't even think to look at what was going right, and then come to find out good stuff happens every single day. So much that I can't even post all of it.
So how did you go from just this idea in the front seat of your car and you acted on it, which is the first step. But how did you go to becoming literally one of the most popular meme creators on the planet?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Come on.
Ask the people. I just relentlessly posted original content, and it was back when, like, nobody was making their own memes. It was a bit of an obsession, I'm not going to lie. It wasn't like, it may not have been that healthy at first, but I, like most people, I value people's opinion of me in an appropriate amount. I don't define myself by it, but when somebody says, hey, I like this about you, or you did this and that made me feel good, that makes me feel good. And making people laugh is my favorite thing to do, hands down, across the board. So doing it in a digital platform from the comfort of the front seat of my car was like a no-brainer. It was just one of those things that I made a decision and I stuck with it. And
wow.
I think when you start talking, if you talk long enough, people will listen. And if you're saying something good, they'll tell other people what you're saying.
That's right. So let's take a look at some of your favorite memes. This first one is of Taylor Swift. So describe what's happening here.
So there's a picture. Taylor Swift is obviously a massive star, and anytime somebody, you get a picture of somebody like that, it's going to do well. But there's a guy behind her who has been blurred out, and he's just he's
lurking.
He's just delivering
parts
coffee
of Taylor Swift,
at work.
yes.
Yeah, and it says, "Do you follow Taylor Swift?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, of course," or "Yes." On Instagram, no. Like, doesn't even know what Instagram is. He's just, I follow her in real life.
And were you surprised when this takes off?
I'm surprised whenever anything I do does well. So, yeah, of course.
Talk about confidence,
yeah.
Right? Here we go. All right, let's look at another one.
Oh, yeah. So this is
Randy Jackson.
A very famous meme image of, it's going to be a no from me, dog, which became its own meme thing.
Yes.
And
when he was like the judge on American Idol, right?
Yeah, it was like his line. So this is me telling my dog, who looks like that they're looking at me like I'm going to take them for a walk in 8-degree weather. Like, it's just not going to happen.
And you call what you do humor with positivity.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Humor, for periods of my life, I was funny at the expense of other people sometimes. Most of the time it was at my own expense, which is how I cultivated the sense of humor. Then when I got tired of that, I started aiming it at other people. And I realized early on, if I have to be mean to be funny, I'd rather just not be funny. So,
I love that. Now, here's another meme you love, this one of J-Lo. Talk to me about this. Oh, my God, I love this one! I love this. The Golden Girls, 50 years old in 1985 and 50 years old in 2020.
So, Blanche, right?
Yes.
She was...
Was she 50 at the...
No.
Okay.
No, of course. That's part
All
of the
right,
joke.
so, okay. See, I'm so damn gullible.
But she was still, she was outwardly sexual, as were all the Golden Girls, which is what made it so funny and so good. But she didn't, she was just like, a sexy grandma. She didn't have to, she didn't dress like J-Lo or swing on a pole. It's just funny how it celebrates. This meme is almost a perfect meme. And it was actually, the idea was sent to me by a guy, Ja Drew, which...
And you did it much better than he did it.
I can't, so 50, we'll split the credit.
That was nice of you. You know what I also like about you is you give people credit.
You have to.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah. But this kind of celebrates and uplifts both forms of, both ways of aging, both ways of femininity, both forms of sexuality. It's just kind of is a win-win for everybody.
That's a
involved.
Very safe way to describe this.
Well, there's a lot.
Because what I looked at like this is, holy do I have a lot of work to do. I'm like 51. I can't even do a pull-up, and she's hanging off that thing by her ankles, for crying out loud.
Yeah, there was some negative attention on this.
No, and
sure.
the Super Bowl halftime show was made for memes. I mean, the second that Shakira went into that camera and did the tongue thing, it was viral. I mean, yes, immediately.
I honestly
That was engineered, don't you think?
I didn't even know who was playing. I just knew that the halftime show was going to be a meme fest.
So when you watch the so you've got 5 million people following you. People look at you for good news and for memes.
Yeah.
How competitive is it when you're there? Yes, this moment right here. As you're watching the Super Bowl, are you standing there waiting on edge? Okay, I got to get it. This is the moment. This is really?
You get a little a little adrenaline spike when you see something happen that you just know is oh. that's gonna bang.
That's gonna go.
Yeah.
And then do you go immediately? What do I say? What do I say? What do I say about this moment?
Yeah, and then if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, like,
so what do you say about this moment? Do you have one for this?
I actually didn't use this.
Why?
Because people just did such a good job with it, I wasn't gonna be able to top it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So one of the things that I also love about you, I want to show you one of my favorite ones. This one right here. Greatness lies within you. Don't you love that with the Batman shadow? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's cute.
That's amazing. And one of the things that I do love about you is I love when people who have a comeback story are winning in life.
Yeah.
And one of the things about your journey is that 17 years ago, you hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
And so talk to me about that moment.
So people either understand or they don't. To describe rock bottom to somebody is like they want to know what happened. It's like nothing happened. I just didn't want to live that way anymore. And I couldn't see my life with alcohol and drugs, and I couldn't see it without it. And that's a scary place to be. And I also knew it was just going to get worse and worse through a little bit of extrapolation of data, looking at, okay, when I was 17, it was like this. When I was 18, it was like that. Now I'm 22, and it's
and
like
what
this.
was it like when you were 22?
Oh, it was just a living hell. It's an absolute nightmare.
What does that mean?
Just, demoralization.
Here's why I'm asking you this, because so many of us see somebody who is living out a dream, who's got 5 million followers, but we don't realize that there's a backstory. And I find the backstory super inspiring because it shows people that may be struggling that, hey, this is a moment. And you have no idea how different your life is going to be if you keep pushing through. And so how bad did it get for you?
So just real quick, one thing I'm always careful to say when it comes to this is that if you are struggling with addiction, I don't want you to think that you need to be on the Mel Robbins Show or have 5 million followers or do any of this stuff that I do to be happy. This is just the version of,
Right.
This is whatever your version of crushing it in your life is. I want you to strive for that.
Yes.
So it was like, blackouts, car crashes, wrecked relationships, not remembering what I said, not knowing why people are mad at me, not knowing where I'm waking up, not knowing where my money is, the little bit that I had, getting fired from jobs, getting kicked out of school.
And you're 22?
22, yeah. Undateable, unemployable, everythingable. It was just a nightmare. I didn't see a way out, and then all of a sudden, like, the window of opportunity flew open, unprompted, and I dove through it, and I haven't looked back since.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you, like me, you're a very positive person. Do you think that being sober contributes to that?
Yes, because, positivity is something that I think, I know you talk about it. It's not something that you're born with or that some people have and some people don't. It's like you're lucky or you're not, like you're tall or you're not. Positivity is a habit that you can create by constantly reminding yourself and being aware that there are things to be grateful for. Good stuff happens. The bad stuff doesn't last. And not only does the bad stuff not last, you should always learn from whatever happens to you, good or bad. But you learn so much more from the bad, it makes it not bad anymore.
That's true. When you find the message in the mess, the mess disappears. Well, your newest account is called Influencers in the Wild.
Yeah.
You launched it 3 weeks ago. Yeah. It already has 1 million followers, and it celebrates the people we all love to hate. We're going to take a look at some of these posts when we return. We'll be right back. Up next, why do you think memes have become so damn popular in our culture? And later, if you found somebody's keys, how far would you go to get them back to the owner? Is this just in your DNA to do random acts of kindness for strangers? Did your marriage fail and you can't get over it?
I've been divorced for 7 years and I'm still stuck feeling unhappy.
Life-changing steps to take after divorce. You're not going to like this. Tomorrow on Mel. I believe you have a vision for your life, and I want to help you get there. If you're dealing with the challenge too big to face alone, go to melrobbinshow.com, click Be a Guest, and let's figure it out together.
Tank's Good News is an Instagram account devoted exclusively to sharing good news. With over 1 million followers, the page curates feel-good stories from around the world about celebrities, businesses, incredible kids, and real-life heroes.